Hello and welcome to this live broadcast. I'm Chengxi in Shanghai. It is May the 2nd, which is the second day of the first major public holiday since the unfortunate COVID-19 outbreak. Well, a lot of people feel like they've lost half a year, but this is the first public major holiday. People have the chance to actually come out and enjoy themselves. Actually, a lot of the museums and art galleries in Shanghai have opened since mid-March, and we are now in this small exhibition to check out what they have to offer. So we are now joined by Ms. Xu Jia, who is responsible for this whole project. Can you give us a sense of what we are seeing here? 您总体介绍一下这次展览。
这个展览呢，名字叫做“重回屋里乡，时光里的上海人家”。这是一个展览，也是一个公共的一个摄影空间。我们希望呢，通过用家的叙事，用上海的老物件还原上海的一个家的客厅，再通过这个客厅呢，定格上海这座城市的记忆。
好，我们边走边说。So the whole idea of this show is about family. It's called Shanghai Through the Times. So you can see a lot of daily items that people use. Local people use during the past century. For example, these bags, these look pretty fashionable. 看起来还挺潮的哈，
这个包呢，旅行袋其实是80年代的，随时的、随处可以见到的，在家庭里面用的一个旅行包。
If you're from Shanghai, please tell me in the comments if you have some of these bags back in the day. I think these bags are made in the 1980s, and a lot of families actually have these bags. So these are all Shanghai landscapes. This is, I think, Waibai in the Bund area in Waitan. And this is Yuyuan Garden. This is where we are now. We're going to show you some of this beautiful landscape after this exhibition. So if we walk over there, actually many of these items are, actually all of these items are genuine, right? 所有的这些展品都是真货。
是的，全都是真的，我们不复刻的。我们所有的东西就是从全国各地搜集回来的，上海制造以及上海人用过的，每一件物品都有迹可循，有它自己独有的故事。
Yes, you can actually see the signs of usage, right? I think this is an ice cream box. 这是个雪糕盒。
是，它是这个美女牌，这个很出名的上海的，这是光明牌。你可以看到这个时光在它的上面已经流出了非常漂亮的这个光泽。你看，这有当时的老报纸。
Yeah, you can see the old newspaper, and also spider web too.
这个冰糕呢，当时就放在这儿，然后呢，就是小贩们拎着这个盒子，冰糕盒，然后沿街叫卖，那是小朋友童年最美好的记忆。
Now, actually, we want to walk into this first exhibition room. This is one of the 3 exhibition rooms. This room is about furnitures from the 1920s to the 1940s, right? 您总体介绍一下这个房间。
这个房间呢，事实上就是定格上海的摩登年代了，20到40年代。你可以看到这个房间里面所有的展陈跟布置，肯定是那个年代的东西。今天呢，我们其实可以详细介绍一下这个上海人啊，很有感情的，叫五斗柜。你把它拿开，它的形制跟现在的柜子很不一样。首先是2个装这个小物件的。然后这个打开是装衬衫的，上海人家的衬衫呢一定要平放的，所以当时的五斗柜是这样的形式，非常的讲究。
So this is for all your shirts. Probably these are all for all your jewelries and daily items. And this fan is the real thing from the 1920s to the 40s. So that period in Shanghai was a very special period. Well, the locals call it the modern times. It's actually a concession period in Shanghai. For example, the French built a lot of buildings in local Shanghai and also along the Bund area, which is now one of the major tourist attractions. A lot of buildings were built during the 1920s in the Art Deco style, which is the same style as, for example, the Empire State Building in New York. And also we see this is a genuine photo, right?
是，这是一张老照片。这位先生的故事其实贯穿着我们整个3个客厅。它是20年代的一张结婚照，可以看到当时是4女4男的一个花童的配置。然后在其他地方，我们待会儿会介绍到他的孙子辈。他年老的照片也会出现在我们这儿，作为一个主线去贯穿着我们3个客厅的主题，就是时光在流逝，但是家的爱在永恒。
So this exhibition is actually about that particular family. This is one of the family portraits that they've taken during from the 1920s to the 1940s. Well, I imagine you have to be from a pretty wealthy, a well-off family to have your portraits taken at that time. And actually, we can see a lot of pianos here, musical scores. This is called The Creation, and this is actually a real musical score book from that period. We can see a lot of, I think these are Christian music. Well, it was a time of a lot of heavy Western influence in Shanghai. Back in the day, Shanghai was one of the most international cities in China during that period. It was actually known as the, one of the financial hubs of Asia. So maybe we walk into the second room. Oh, I've seen these in a lot of the TV shows depicting that time, right?
这个帽子现在戴其实不过时的，依然很潮。然后我们把它放在这儿，也是希望大家进来的时候可以随时的可以带过来拍拍照什么的，感受一下当时的一个氛围。所以这是一个公共的开放式的空间。
So if you're interested in anything, don't hesitate to leave us a comment. We'll show you the details, the things you want to see. Now this is the next room. This is from the 1950s to the 1970s, right?
这是50年到70年代这么一个空间。你可以看到当时呢，所有的其实家具还是比较简单实用的，但是它整体呈现出来的美感是有的。你看它的线条各方面，不是我们想象的东西，就是老物件可能就是不好看的，或者是太粗糙的。其实上它的形制、它的美感，你现在看过来，就是仍然能感受到那个年代的一种美。
This room is very clean and tidy, and you can see the huge change in aesthetics during that time in Shanghai. So this is actually from what we call the Mao era. If you see over there, a portrait of Mao Zedong, the first chairman of the PRC, a bust of Mao Zedong, and a lot of books from that era. And this clock is actually quite popular during the day. Actually, our cameraman right now is a Shanghai local. He said he has one of these things in his home, the exact same thing. So if you're from Shanghai, please tell me if you have something like this, exactly like this in your home. So if we look over here, we can see some of the what we call food quota. So back in the days of the planned economy, it was not the market economy still. So back in the days of planned economy, regular families have to have these quotas to buy daily necessities. All right. This is a wedding certificate. So from that same family, right? 还是那个家庭的。
不是那个家庭，是另外一个家庭的，但是他们有名有姓，你看年龄，然后那个就是结婚日期都写清楚了的，所以我们也觉得就是华先生、华女士，如果您看到了这个节目的话，可以联系我们。
So yeah, this is beautiful. We see how a family's lives have changed. This is probably a romanticized version of that, but we can have a glimpse of what life was like back then. Now, a comment says, "Well, is this area okay to come in now?" Yeah, you can come in pretty freely. You have your temperatures taken, body temperatures taken, but otherwise you're free to enter this area. Now. This room is, I think, from the 1980s, right?
80年代改革开放以后，80到90年代，所以大家看到这个实际上比起刚才那个客厅，它的这个东西的规模，包括电器类的东西就在增加了。你看这个是我们小时候经常大家都知道大白兔奶糖，这个是80年代用的盒子，但这个糖是今天早上买的。
Yeah. This is one of the more popular sweets in Shanghai. We actually still have some of these in all major supermarkets. It's called the White Rabbit. If you're interested, please check it out online. I think they sell them on Taobao or Amazon. So this room is I'm more familiar with this room because I'm born in the late 80s. So I also had one of these refrigerators in my home back then, and we had all these cassette tapes. This is the memory of people born in the 80s. We also had similar television, similar magazines, and and they also have a piano. So and all these pictures are from that same family. 还是那个家庭的？
这个是这一家是。这一家可以看到，就是我们在20年代看到那个结婚的先生，他现在抱着他的孙子出现在这个客厅了。
Ah, so that gentleman you saw in that wedding photo, he's now holding his grandson now.
对，然后他的家庭在枝繁叶茂。
So this is beautiful. We see how a family's life changed over the course of about a century, and it was a time of seismic change in China. And so this whole exhibition is about the concept of family, right? 您可以升华一下，就这个整个展览是关于这个家庭观念的。
就是一个家，关于一个家，我们也希望呢，大家能就是回归到家庭生活当中，因为现在生活呢，就是工作节奏很快，很久大家都没有聚在一起了，拍拍老照片，过一些真正的就是时光，能短暂的定格的家庭生活。我们希望大家邀请到这个空间来，一起来就是再想想小晨光的美好的时候。
So and this area is free for all people to visit. You can take a lot of good pictures here. A lot of the things are genuine artifacts. And if you look over there, this is one of the watch brands that's some of the earliest in China. I think it's from the 1950s. It's called the Shanghai Watch.
对，上海表，这是上海表的一个展陈区。其实是从这儿开始的。上海表呢，今年是65周年。我们从那个上海表征集到很多它当时的一些老的工艺的这个器械，这可以看到，这个一看就是老物件了。
从50年代开始的。
应该这是60年代的东西。然后这个表的展陈就是，可以看到它有一个清晰的时间轴。
So from 1955, I think 55. 4 watchmakers in Shanghai said, well, the Chinese people need to have a watch brand of their own, so they founded this branch, and it's still thriving today. So thank you very much for showing us around. 谢谢您。Okay, let's check out some other area of the Yu Garden. We're actually now in the Yu Garden right now. If we walk down, we can see the whole garden. I think it's 10:42 right now. People are starting to come in. Well, if you come here just a month earlier, the place was pretty much empty. Actually, this is one of the biggest attractions in Shanghai. It could attract some 200,000 people, for example, during the first day of the Chinese New Year. But the same thing cannot be said about this year because of the unfortunate virus outbreak. But now, come May, with the virus effectively contained in China, people are starting to come back to this area. Now, we are at the inside the Yu Garden. Actually, we're now at the Wenchang Street, and now we are joined by the manager of this Yuyuan culture products. And so, yeah, please show us around. So, what's the story with this place we're standing in right now?
我先跟大家介绍一下豫园的这条文昌路，它是从明朝的时候的这个嘉靖年间清朝的对不起，清朝的康熙年间这条街就已经建成了。当时呢也是当地的一个商业小街。那取名文昌是因为城隍庙在我们的隔壁，是上海自古的信仰中心，里面就有这个文昌阁，是莘莘学子自古以来祈求高中的一个这个地方。那这条文昌路是我们在2019年2月开始做这样的一个改造。那其中的这个两边的店铺引进的都是跟中华文化有关的，包括汉字的特色以及中国的丝绸、文学等等。地上的这个青石板呢是用祥云的图案，来代表的中国人的寓意是平步青云的好意思，好的这个造诣。然后上面的这个天花呢是走着竹节，又像书本打开一样，节节高升的意思。那在我们两边的牌匾，则是请上海的书法家写上文昌跟龙门的字样，这代表的就是一跃龙门文运昌隆。那么
我先说好。So this street has a quite fitting name. It's called Wenchang Street, which literally translated as the thriving of the literature. So this street has a long history since the Ming Dynasty. So it was a place where people sell their literatures and arts. And as Mr. Lin Keheng has said, that the ceiling of this place is like a book opening itself. So now this street is still used for selling a lot of cultural product. So for example, this store that Mr. Lin is quite eager to show us around. So this store, we see, what is this right here? 这是什么？
这是中国古代就以前在使用，就是活字签字印刷。用来作为这个图书啊印刷之用，但现在呢，这个签字已经少用了。但我们呢，就将它转变成一个很有纪念意义，也很有价值情感的一个文创礼品。就这些字里面呢，透过我们的店员可以帮助你选到，比如说外国的朋友也是，我们的店员可以帮他把他的名字翻译成了中文的这个拼音，然后呢，我们在这上面找出对应的汉字，比如说。
So this is actually called the movable type printing. So this is each one of these little columns is a Chinese character. So this type of printing technique was first invented in China in I think 1040 AD. It was one of the 4 major inventions in ancient China. It was the first movable type printing technique in the world. So each of these columns is a Chinese character, and you can freely arrange this character into, for example, your name. And if you're a foreign national, the staff here can actually translate your name into Chinese character, and so you can have your little Chinese shield.
比如说，我们就示范一下，我们帮这个杨老师找。
So as an example，
来，你帮我们帮杨老师找到他的名字。
So he's actually trying to find my name. My name is Yang Chengxi, and it's 3 Chinese characters. So it is these 3 Chinese characters, right? It's written in traditional Chinese, which is a more complicated, and it's in reverse. But I guess when you print that on paper, it's in the correct direction. Yang Chengxi, that's the 3 words, right? Oh, so you put it in the cast like this.
对，木盒可以打开，然后我们可以
这样放进去。
对，我们可以。
So the idea is that if you put that in, you can make your little seal. 合起来了就是一个小巧的礼物。 What a nice surprise! So now this becomes my seal. So this, as you can see, is a very effective system of a printing back in the day that promoted the development of literature in China and later on spread across the world. Very, very interesting. Oh, thank you very much. 我们看看那边。Let's walk over to that side. We now see a lot of tourists coming back. 我们今天看到也有不少游客回到。
是，现在开始有一些比较短途、近距离的游客已经开始回复了，然后大家也可能趁着这个5一的假期的期间来出来游逛，所以我们现在也会推出一些新品。比如说，我们豫园的文创就是做了一个新的豫园文化创意制造所，我们跟国外的这些艺术家跟设计师都会合作，来把我们中国的国风的这些特殊形象去做出漂亮的好的这个纪念品跟产品。
So a lot of these cultural products are in collaboration with a lot of designers both in China and around the world. So they mix a lot of modern designs with traditional Chinese elements. So these are some of the products that they're selling right here.
例如说，像这是一个便签纸，但是呢，它里面的图案却是我们豫园的湖心亭，也是中国湖上茶亭一个很经典的形象。那从像这样子，它一张一张的撕去便签纸之后呢，最后就露出了一个这样的漂亮的一个形象。
So this is actually pieces of stickers that you can use, but they're in the style of this little beautiful pavilion, which we'll go to in a second.
是的。也介绍一下，比如说像这个是跟英国艺术学院的Robert 老师设计合作的这么一款系列产品。它呢是用我们豫园的湖心亭，但是它来作画，所以呢一个中西就像上海一样，是一个中西方文化的碰撞跟创意的结合，然后也有很有自己的国风，也很时尚的设计，应用在杯子、筷子跟日志本等等这种比较日常使用的产品。
So this is in collaboration with a British designer. He designed this pattern. Yeah, and they made it into, for example, this card holder, and the teapots and chopsticks.
像这样是一个是我们的一个豫园记忆礼盒。中国人的这种筷子，而且它上面是灵鸟在树梢。中国人的成语讲喜上眉梢。然后呢，这是扇子，也就是一个也很有中国风味的一个扇面。然后呢，这个是夏天了也很实用。
Okay, if you're looking for Shanghai style souvenirs, feel free to check out this place in the Yuyuan Garden. And let's walk a little bit inside. So I see some people in the comments saying that why aren't we wearing face masks? So for the style, for the effect of this live broadcast, I'm not wearing face masks. But as you can see, most people, in fact, almost all people are wearing face masks. It's still the norm here in China that you wear a face mask to prevent any possibility of a resurgence of the virus. But now the virus is in fact effectively contained in Shanghai. Okay, before we come in, so this is this very special Maidenhair Tree. 您可以介绍一下这个？
对，这是一棵100年的银杏树。银杏树呢，大家也都知道是地球比较长寿的这种树种啊，追溯的时间都到史前时代了。但是呢，这棵银杏树是整个豫园里面，在就是豫园花园之外的唯一一棵的银杏树。在这棵树下呢，从早年呢就有很多的这种手工艺的老师匠人。在树下呢，他在做这个生意跟做表演。那么我们也延续了传承这个文脉，希望保留跟发扬光大这么一个历史。然后呢，把这些文化开了这么一个空间，在银杏树下去守护。在银杏树下呢，我们去守护这些传统的手艺匠艺。
So this Maidenhair Tree is about 100 years old. Back in the day, a lot of craftsmen actually sell their handicrafts under this Maidenhair Tree, and now this place has become turned into a shop. But we can still see some of the amazing techniques that people are using. So this is actually very amazing. So check this out, guys. So 您可以介绍一下这个画。
对，这个呢，老师他是指掌画，也就是说中国的山水画传统我们用毛笔，但是这位老师呢，他用的是手指、指甲跟他的手掌来作为画笔。你也可以看到他的用手指指纹、掌纹跟指纹的纹路，可以画出山水的这个奇石的形状跟花纹，然后借由老师的这个渲染，也有深浅墨色的不同。
So you actually don't need a pen to make a great painting. So this lady here is using her hand and also her fingernails to make these awesome looking paintings that are very traditionally in a very traditional Chinese aesthetic. Well, black and white is actually a very popular color arrangement in a lot of ancient Chinese paintings. The idea is that you leave a lot of whites on the paper, so it gives people room for a lot of imagination. So you can, it's hard to imagine that these paintings, well, she made this in like a minute. Yeah, and I think it's come out very, very beautiful. 我可以问几个问题吗？可以问几个问题吗？就您平时做一幅画的话，大概要多长时间 ？How long would it take you to make one of these？
像这种要3个小时。
3个小时。
对。
3个小时。It takes about 3 hours to make a painting like this. 您是怎么学的？从什么时候开始学的这个？
从20岁。
从20岁。学了多久？
学了差不多15年。
She's been learning this technique for 15 years. 好的，非常非常酷。 谢谢 Thank you very much. And this is still another very awesome technique here.
对，这个呢，老师他用的是各种植物，包括竹子的表皮，以及一些草，他去编出来各种，比如说是手链，或者是像现在老师在做用竹皮拼画，并且用烫出来的这个颜色的深浅，像这些画的这个上面的这些颜色深浅呢，是老师用高温去烫制出来的，然后展现出画的一些风格。
So this style of painting is actually very organic. These are all wood and bamboo. So when you arrange them on the canvas, it becomes a very good picture. And then to make the darker place, well, let's take this for example. You see these darker areas on this picture. So the craftsmen here actually use high temperatures to burn them into darker colors. So it gives a more depth into the picture itself. So you don't need pen to make great pictures. You can use a lot of different and organic techniques, and this is some of the beauties of the traditional crafts in China. OK, 谢谢。我们去看看那边。So let's move over to that side. Still another very awesome technique.
这位老师呢，他是我们讲鼻烟壶内画。那内画是中国一个非常特别的技，就是在鼻烟壶这样的小的这个玻璃瓶呢，老师把画笔伸到瓶中。那我们可以想象，第一看不是太清楚，第二呢，他所画的这些花鸟以及文字，它是倒过来写的。
Okay, so the technique speaks for itself. So if you look over here, 来，你拍一下这个。If you look over here, you can see how he paints these little birds and branches. So he paints from inside that little bottle. So imagine the mental gymnastics you would have to do to complete a picture like this. And it's quite detailed too. Because you see the feather on these birds, and also the flowers and the grass in the background. Yeah, and also the calligraphies of Buddhist texts, I believe. So pretty neat souvenir that you can have right here. That this little master here made from scratch. So this is actually very interesting. So tell me more about this place. 这里还有什么特色？
对，这家店呢，我们就是第一个把这些中国工艺，我们希望能够传承然后呢，但另外一个也希望能够再创新，也更符合现代人、年轻人跟外国的朋友们可以接触更多的中国文化，而且不会有那么多的门槛。那么比如说像这个装置艺术，这个呢就是由中国美术学院的张俊杰教授来做的创作，400根的竹条。全部是匠人用手工去编制的，高有4米高，然后呢，整个大概重了100公斤重，但它表达的就是一棵参天大树一样，能够把中国的文化透过我们的帮助，能够茁壮，变成更符合现代，以及让更多的人去接触它的一个好的一个传承。
So the beauty of this place is really the handicraft here. As you said, the ceiling here, the thing that the column that you just saw was handmade with 有多少根竹条
？400根。
400 bamboo sticks. So it's actually the teapots are pretty exquisite here.
对，这个中国的茶文化也是非常特别。然后呢，这个中国的茶器也是一个很特别的门类。这个是紫砂呀，就中国的紫砂壶，用非常珍贵的这些沙土，然后经过高温烧制。包括匠人老师的手工捏制做出来，然后呢，因为传统的紫砂壶呢，大概都是这个颜色。
Okay, these are all handmade, by the way. This is called purple clay teapot. And it's one of the more expensive and more exquisite and high-end teapots in China. Purple clay is very famous, known across China, and made very well too.
对，既然这些用的就是它仍然是天然的紫砂材料，但是它加入了缎泥、绿泥、青泥等等不同的泥料，它就会变成有各种各样的颜色。你可以看到这个颜色都会变成。
So they mix it with different materials to have different colors.
而且现在的器型也不那么传统啊，更时尚、更好看。现在很多年轻人也都很喜欢。然后外国朋友呢，以前可能觉得中国茶有点距离，但我们其实也做了一些好的设计，来帮助他们。
So they make this aesthetic closer to the aesthetic style of modern teapots and cups too. So it fits a lot of the younger generations, and also they would want some foreign visitors here to also fall in love with the culture of Chinese tea.
就一开始接触中国茶，感觉它种类很多，然后呢用的这个茶壶茶器也都很特别。但是呢，我们就特别呢把中国的茶分成了5大类，然后每一种茶，不同的茶呢适合什么样的茶壶，它用不同的型以及不同的泥料去做出来，然后每一款茶对应了每一种茶器。用这个方式呢，然后帮助不管是刚接触茶的年轻朋友，还是外国的朋友，都很容易说，哎，原来我通过你的介绍，透过我喜欢的口味，比如说我们这里有15种的不同的茶的口味，透过你的尝试之后，也许你就可以挑到自己喜欢的。那于是乎，在这个透过这样的方式呢，很多外国朋友确实在我们这里也挑到自己心爱的茶器。
So I believe a lot of foreign visitors would find it fascinating. This is how Chinese people make tea. It's actually very complicated. There are a lot of things you have to do to make a good cup of tea, and very precise maneuvers too. And you can see how a pot of tea is made here, and different teapots actually require a slightly different routines. Actually, there's a lot of things you have to learn if you want to make good Chinese tea. 有很多步骤哈，要做一杯好的中国茶。
对，中国的茶看起来就有很多的步骤，但是呢，因为我们把茶器跟茶类已经分类选好之后呢，我们在我们的这个茶的这个茶叶包装上都会给这个朋友们买过去的朋友们已经介绍好了，就这一款茶的冲泡方式跟时间是怎么样，而且把它都简化了，也就是第一次接触的朋友其实都可以很容易的就上手。
So if you buy tea here, they come with instructions on the box that tells you how to make them. So and also this is very interesting.
对，这个是我们也是把传统的艺术变成现代餐具的一个好的案例。就是这是用我们豫园的湖心亭的造型，湖心亭也是我们大概从清朝的这个乾隆年间就有的湖上茶亭，然后呢做成一个实用的餐具，一个饭碗。
So this bowl and this cup here can actually become a pavilion itself, right? This become if you put it upside down over the cup, it becomes the roof of the pavilion.
对，然后这个是铜雕做的筷架。
Yeah, this is actually a chopsticks holder, right? So people hold chopsticks this way, so the tip of the chopstick won't come in contact with the table. So if you put the chopstick holder right here, it becomes the pavilion. So isn't it a bit innovative, right?
对，所以这个也是我们希望。既可以不要文创商品感觉不实用啊，它可以用在日常中使用，但又能表达意思，又能表达我们的情感，跟在桌上也是一道风景。
Okay, so let's walk a bit over there. So we're going deeper inside the Yuyuan Garden. So can you tell us about the history of this place? 这个豫园这个历史是怎么样的？
豫园是这样的，就是最早呢，它是在明朝的年间，这个有一个潘家，姓潘的大户人家，他在这里呢购置了他的花园宅邸，然后也同时呢，我们的城隍庙是当地这附近的人的信仰中心。那慢慢的在这之间呢，就形成了街市、商业街区。然后呢，这个当地所有人的这个生活信仰就在这个地方。
So this place, this traditional place, traditional garden in Shanghai is actually inside the city center of Shanghai. You can see a lot of tall buildings surrounding this place, but this is kept in a very antique and traditional style. It was built during the Ming Dynasty, and it was turned into like a tea parlor for business people during the Qing Dynasty later. And then after the founding of the People's Republic, this place was kept as a culture heritage. And now it's become a tourist attraction. You can see actually a lot of people here today. That's a stark comparison with 2 months ago, especially during the Chinese New Year when this place was shut down, all the shops were closed, and now I think all the shops here and all the restaurants have now reopened. 好，谢谢您总。Thank you very much. Thank you. So we are now in the center of the Yuyuan Garden. So you can see a lot of people wearing face masks, but that didn't stop them from having a good time here. If you walk a bit over there, I'm going to show you around this center of the Yuyuan Garden. And if you look up, a lot of traditional style Chinese pavilions and Chinese buildings. And if you walk over there, there's a very famous bridge that you can see a lot of people walking on there. It is called the Bridge of Ninepence. So if you walk closer, you can see what I mean. So you see the bends on this bridge. There are actually 9 corners you have to walk through to go through this bridge. Now you see what I mean. So why is it called the Bridge of Ninepence? And why do people like walking on it? Well, it is said that the bends on this bridge represents sort of the obstacles in life. So if you walk through the 9 bends, you can, well, turn your luck around, so to speak, and have good luck and good fortune back in your life. And I think a lot of people walk through this bridge, especially this time around, is I think very meaningful during the public holiday, and especially the first public holiday since the virus outbreak. It's actually more people than I thought, because I was here in February and I was here again in March. The place is nearly empty, and usually it is full of people, just like today. And now we see the usual scene coming back. As I said, during the first day of the Chinese New Year, this place can have up to 200,000 people in a day. But actually, according to tourism data yesterday, which is the first day of the public holiday, visitor volume here and also at the Bund area and also in the Lujiazui area was down by about 50%. But the fact that people are coming out again to enjoy themselves means that daily lives here are gradually returning to normal. Most of the shops here have now reopened. And some of the retail and restaurant businesses are among the hardest hits during this virus outbreak. So the Shanghai municipal government have rolled out actually a sales campaign to actually encourage people to come out and spend money to buy stuff. So a lot of the shopping malls and restaurants in Shanghai now offer discounts of up to 45%, at least 45%. And you can have a lot of shopping coupons in shopping malls, so it makes it a very good time to actually come out and spend money. So this is part of a plan to stimulate the small and medium enterprises in Shanghai to make them survive through this difficult time, because they didn't have much business in the first 3 months of this year, and it could be a very, very serious blow to small and medium enterprises. So we've now reached the final destination of this live broadcast, which is this little restaurant here. Let's now go inside to have a look. 您好，您好，您好. All right. Well, you can see a lot of people are coming back to enjoy a little bit of meal time. It's now about meal time in China, so please have a seat. It's about meal time in China, and we see people are coming to the restaurants and have what we the Chinese people call 粽子. So this is a very distinct rice pastry. 您坐在这边哈。您首先介绍一下这个粽子吧。
现在每年嘛都中午嘛，我们都做粽子。以前嘛传统的都是吃的啊，还有大肉。今年嘛我们推出来新鲜的就是比较小众一点，叫咖喱牛肉粽。那我们选了呢，就是牛肉有肥有瘦的这种牛腩，然后做成一个咖喱牛肉粽，今年的新品。
So if you're not familiar with Chinese 粽子, this is made with sticky rice, and they usually have meat inside, usually pork. But this shop, I think they make innovations every year. So this 粽子 is actually made with curry beef filling, so some Indian style, right? 就有点印度风情的。
对的，它比较嘛，本来就是咖喱牛肉饭这种啊，然后我们选用那种，有咖喱跟咖喱粉炒一下，然后调料配好以后做成这种咖喱牛肉粽子，比较小众一点的。
So, well, I'll try some of that later. So, as I said, some of the small businesses and restaurants are among the hardest hit during this virus outbreak. So, I wonder how this shop is doing right now. 就从疫情以来哈，这个生意恢复的怎么样？
现在呢就恢复了，现在知道开了回来然后我们因为有的线上线下都在做，然后恢复了比较好，50%这样。
So the businesses here has recovered by about 50% of normal times compared to last year, and that's been consistent with a lot of some other restaurants. What they've been telling me, business have been returning to normal, but it's about 50-60% compared to the usual times, but it's picking up. 您觉得这个五一期间对这里的客流有什么期待？
现在的客流呢，就像以前呢，没有以前了嘛，因为没有全部了嘛。现在希望嘛，客流更大一点，我们生意嘛更加好一点。客流呢，总的来说还是没有就恢复到以前的40%这样，40%这样。
So I think he has very high expectations as to this public holiday. Because this is the first major public holiday since the virus outbreak, and he anticipates a pickup in people back to the store and have actually taste their 粽子. But it's about 40% compared to the usual times. But because this during public holidays, this Yuyuan Garden is usually very packed with people. But a lot of stores have been preparing for an upsurge in visitor volume. So it makes it very important to prevent the transmission of viruses, because it is still a very concrete threat. Although the threat is pretty much contained in Shanghai, all the precaution measures still have to be taken. And a lot of shops, a lot of the stores, they require people to wear face masks. I'm not wearing a face mask now, but I have one in my pocket because they still require face masks if you walk into pretty much any store here. 这边的防疫有什么样的一个措施，还有一些准备呢？
防疫的话，我们客人进来呀，要量体温啊，还有我们自己员工啊，上班每天都要测量2次体温，然后都要上报的，然后要出示健康码的。健康码。
Actually, all the staff here need to have their body temperature taken twice each day, and they have to be reported to the authorities. So every day, so they have to make sure that all the staff here are healthy. 这里顾客有没有就是说，例如分隔开或者坐得远一点这样的？
基本上的座位呢，现在我们以前一个台子坐4个人，现在只能就是2个人这样，然后尽量就保持1米的距离，保持1米的距离这样。
Back in the days, each table allowed 4 people. Now, but in the era of social distancing, each table now only allow for 2 people here. So to create some distance among people. Still, we see people coming in, and we hope the business continue to get better. So this pretty much brings us. Thank you very much. Right, this pretty much brings us to the end of this live broadcast. So if you're in China right now, I hope you're having a fantastic May 1st public holiday. I hope you can get a chance to go outside, enjoy the sun. The weather is becoming quite nice right now in most part of China. Sun is shining, the temperatures become warmer. But if you're not in China, if you're living in quarantine right now, I hope you at least prepare yourself a very delicious meal to make your time at home a little bit more enjoyable. So this brings us to the end of this live broadcast. I'll see you next time. I'm Chengxi in Shanghai.